Hi, everyone. This is Joanna Pachowski. I'm founder of the Accountable Mindset, and it's a big, big milestone today. It is the first time ever that we're running a live stream with a guest. And the guest is a community member, and I'm really delighted that she's agreed to be here today and to share some of her successes, challenges, and also lessons learned that I'm sure all can benefit from and are really looking forward to hearing. So if you have any questions at any point in time, do let me know. Anything in particular you would like me to ask Mellisa. And with that, I'm going to jump right in and introduce Mellisa Alfaro. And I'm really, really happy that you're here tonight. Well, today in your case.
Yes, thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it, and I'm glad to be here to help in any way I can.
Oh, fantastic. That's really great. So where are you based, Mellisa?
I am based in California, so the wee top, like 20 minutes from the Oregon border.
Oh, wow. So I have to say, this is one of the places I haven't been to yet, but really, really hope when we can all fly and move, that it's going to be possible to just see it all for myself.
Oh, yes. We have definitely the beautiful redwoods here, and it's a great hiking area if you like to hike.
So is it more for the autumn or any time of the year?
I would more so go towards summer, but our weather here is weird. It's not normal. So,
Right.
but we do have the beach. We have the redwoods. It's gorgeous.
Oh, amazing. The moment I hear the beach, I'm in, I have to say. It's the way how we met, and we have exchanged messages. I'm really happy to see you today as well. We met in the Accountable Mindset group. So could you share how you found out about it and what brought you to our community?
Yeah. So I cannot exactly remember how I found out about it, but I'm always looking to get more help personally, in being accountable and having a more healthy mindset, and viewing different individuals' takes on how to do that. And that is one way and reason why I got into it. And I think keeping myself accountable, which is something that I need at times, and always having that positive mindset and moving forward in anything. You could always use a dose of that each day. So.
Yes, I couldn't agree more. I think all of us need it at some point or other, when there are some challenges we're facing. So having people around us in different places, so to speak, does really help. I'm completely with you there. And when the first time I saw you is when you posted around successes, and this is really what I thought it would be absolutely amazing if you joined us and could really share some of the of your journey, successes and challenges in setting up your podcast.
Yeah, so I have been in the corporate world for a very long time, and so being in the corporate world, you learn the job. You're told this is your job, this is how you do it, here's the steps in most cases, and then that's how you go. And so that is what I was, or how I was built. And so I knew I wanted to do a podcast. I knew that the business that I was in helping these nonprofits, I wanted to do more than just what it was laid out to be. And so in order to do that, not only do I help the company that I'm with the nonprofits within the United States, I can get more. I can get the nonprofits around the world and to have them be able to share their mission and their why. And so I wanted a podcast to be able to do that, to reach more people. But I didn't know like the steps that here's the guide that we typically get in a corporate world. And so I went all out. I purchased a Rodecaster Pro. I like to have things easier for me. And again, I don't know anything about tech. I just did it. And so I purchased the podcast technology that I needed to my knowledge. And then one night on Clubhouse, I was listening in and I came across a wonderful mentor who helped me get from step one to launching my podcast within 3 days, Heather Havenwood. And we're a family. It's been amazing she showed us how to go from step one, how to name, how to niche, how to do all of this, and then launching it within 3 days. And it was amazing. And it was what I needed. It was the push that I needed.
This really sounds incredible because, there are so many people who, on the one hand side, want to do something like yourself, really promote the message, take it out, share it with more people, and podcasts lend themselves to doing that. And then you have people who are offering to teach, to mentor. However, what you're describing is not necessarily what someone who looks for that knowledge always encounters. And when you said 3 days, I thought I've misheard it at first because it sounds almost miraculous. So what would you say was the secret to that 3-day startup effectively of your podcast?
Definitely making the time. If you have or know somebody that is doing a podcast, has done a podcast, and that can take the time, if not in a program such as what I went through, I would definitely schedule that time out, do it, step one to step whatever the last step is, just do it all at once, however long it takes. Our last day when we launched it, we started at, I think it was 8 a.m., did not finish until like after 9 p.m. or something like that. So we were there all day working, and that's what it takes. You just have to have the drive and be accountable and just do it.
Yes, it sounds like you're headed in spades over these 3 days, even more than normally.
Yeah, it was a lot, but it was worth it because then at the end of the day, you had something and you could just move forward in whichever direction, and perfect comes later. So
that's so true. Start with the minimum viable and then build on that. This really resonates with me, and probably not just with myself. So what would you say your journey has been? So once you had the technology set up and the technical side, what came next?
Doing it. So I had everything. I had launched it. Now basically figuring out where to go with it and what make my vision come true and keep growing on that. So finding the nonprofits that want to share their mission, no matter how small. They could be startups in the process. That would be amazing to get them support so early on. But that is my next step, is doing it, figuring the process in how to deliver the message and what more value can I add.
I understand. And is there are there any particular messages or opportunities, organizations you're looking for right now?
Basically, any nonprofits is what I am geared around. The nonprofits, helping support them and figure out why. I think that's where a lot of the community falls short, is understanding, well, why should we help you? And so understanding their why and what they do, because they're not like the normal, corporate world people, or they don't get paid an hourly hourly salary. That's a good one. Um, so understanding how they impact communities and what they do and why, I think that is what needs to be shared. And so I am open to nonprofits wanting to have their voice heard.
That's absolutely incredible. And when you have when you're talking to people who have this big vision and a mission, what do you find the challenges are, apart from the ones you've described around really being so sure and clear about the vision? What other challenges are they facing? Because they are, even if they're non-profit, they are still businesses that have to operate within a certain framework of governance and with processes, systems, accountabilities in place as well. So what are you finding are their challenges there?
I think a lot of challenges, I would say, would be around fundraising. And then when 2020 hit, of course, a lot of nonprofits were affected and they had to cancel mostly all of, if not all, of their events. And
Mm-hmm.
so that portion of their business took a hit. And so that's,
Okay.
yeah.
Yes. So do they look to you to help them with the fundraising part as well, as part of the benefit of being involved with the podcast and promoting the message?
So one part of what I do, and then I veered off to the podcast to do more, is basically I do virtual events to raise money for nonprofits through the sale of wine. And that portion of it is only within the United States, minus 10 states due to their state shipping laws, sadly. But that portion of it is within the United States. And we do virtual events through the sale of wine. It's a fabulous community. It's my family. And then I would love to be able to, for those who do not fit that, I would love to help them in any way, raise money to the best of my ability on the other aspect of it.
I understand that. And what's really interesting in your podcast is really this combination. So when I saw the name of your podcast, the cause between the vine, at first I wasn't sure, if this was maybe around wine. And as you're explaining now, actually wine is involved as well. As one of the elements. And how do you find you managed to bring this together within your podcast?
So I have found that we do have a group fundraiser that we support each month. So like in May, it's mental health awareness. So we're going to be supporting one of those nonprofits next month. And so I'll be supporting it through that and announcing it and hopefully giving some great information around mental health, along with the reason I got into it was my son. And so when it comes to myself, I will be supporting a nonprofit more towards supporting those organizations like Down Syndrome Association or something to the effect to give back for their assistance in my life personally. Another way that I do look is anyone who enjoys a glass of wine or likes to, gift wine, Mother's Day is coming up. They can host an event and they don't have to pay anything unless they want wine. And they can actually earn free wine through the event. So that is another way, and we can support any nonprofit of their choice as well. So my main part of the podcast would be doing a monthly fundraiser for about 2 nonprofits.
Brilliant. And this is really a really incredible way of combining your mission with something that people enjoy, because very often actually this is where people are prepared to support more, which means donate more, where it comes to addressing actually their passions or the hobbies, whatever you would like to call it. And so that's really, thank you so much for sharing this. And when you want to share maybe your biggest success to date that you've had with or through the podcast, maybe some positive unintended consequences, unexpected consequences that you've seen.
I think the biggest achievement or success that I've had was to actually launch my podcast. I was researching it prior to finding my mentor, and it was going to be a slow process.
Yeah.
But I think that the biggest success would be launching it and then finding these groups to help keep me on track, like accountability and mindset, coaching. You need somebody to help support you, whether it's personal or professional. And so that has been, I think, my most success.
It's really interesting because most of the people I speak to, or who speak to me, very often they have a vision, they have a passion, and they have a general idea where they want to head. But there is this block, whatever it might be, whether it's it's more technical part, or it's confidence, or it's self-limiting beliefs, or even something they are not aware of, that actually means that they don't really start. And over time, this just builds up into a feeling of frustration, maybe failure, and it starts to become more negative. And then it becomes more and more difficult to really get out and really be out there. So it's fantastic to see, how you have taken it by the horns and really done it. So is there anything at all that you would suggest or recommend to someone who's thinking about starting a podcast or starting a business, but maybe are unsure and are in that place, before they've made the big step that you have made and had that success?
I would say the biggest thing just do it. That is what I keep hearing so many places, so many, high paid individuals, high influencers, just do it. And again, perfect comes later. And again, it's still not going to be perfect, but you learn as you go, and you just have to do it. You have to believe in yourself. Just move forward.
I think that's a great piece of advice to everyone who is maybe not sure, where to start and how to start. Any start is better than standing still, based on what you're saying. And then the movement just continues, progression.
Keep falling forward.
Yes, falling forward. Yes, I love this. So is there a secret, or whether it's your secret to success, or something that nobody or few people would know about you and you would like to share as a personal note?
So I had to think about that, because I don't really talk about myself, and I'm a pretty personal person until I get to know you. So I don't talk a lot about my military experience. And so I am a veteran. I'm a disabled veteran, and I used to jump out of perfectly good airplanes. So I was a paratrooper. And so they would call us spoons because we were in the food service profession. And they would always say that we would jump out of the airplanes with our spoons and pots and pans. But that's something that I don't really talk about much. But yeah,
It sounds incredible.
Yeah, I actually miss it. I do. But unfortunately, I don't think my body would take it anymore.
It seems to be so. I've never been in the military, but some of the stories I hear, even with what you said right now, it just seems that it's a really tough environment physically and mentally to the end.
Yeah. Yes, but it's very good. I mean, I would not be who I am today without that. And again, they keep you accountable, they keep you motivated, they keep you moving. And I would say, trust yourself and believe in your capabilities. You know, Confidence is the foundation of your success, and you have to believe in yourself. You are the key component to your business. And so that is where a lot of people I find fall short. And hold them back is themselves. So you just have to be vulnerable, be confident, be inspired, be motivated, be you.
I think this is a wonderful conclusion to our conversation. It's very inspiring what you've just said, and I hope it will inspire others as well to do what you have done and venture and do something new that you feel passionate about and they feel passionate about, and make it a success. So thank you so much for being here today and taking the time to share your story, your challenges and successes. And your lessons learned. So thank you very much for that. And if you want to know how to reach Mellisa, what's the best way of reaching you?
Yes, thank you so much for having me. I have had very much fun. I've enjoyed this. You can find me on Instagram at Mellisa Alfaro. And then there's also a link in my bio, which will give you a little more into me and what I do and how you can participate.
Fantastic. And I'm going to add the details as well after into the post after the live, of course. So thank you very much, Mellisa, the host of the Course Between Divine podcast, and have a lovely evening.
Thank you. You as well.
Bye.